And I have the pleasure of welcoming Reverend Katherine Congdon to come forward, who is your host for the evening. And she will be ushering us through a wonderful May service. Reverend Katherine, over to you.
Thank you, Reverend Bud. Really pleased to be here tonight. Welcome, everybody. I'm so glad we're here together. Thank you for joining us. Now, more than ever, we need to have our light shine, thus our theme of inner light. When darkness comes or we're discouraged, the light of others can cause our dimmed light to grow, and so too can our light encourage the light of others. In each age, there's positivity and negativity, yin and yang. Regardless of the world around us, there is a light that glows inside each of us, be it a small ember or a bright shining light. Each, in its own way, dispels the darkness, brings us sight, clarity, and hope. It's our hope that this service helps your light to shine a little brighter, to make this world a better, kinder, more peace and love-filled place. So again, welcome, and we're so glad you're joining us. We'll begin by going over the agenda for our service. So we'll start out with our New Light Temple Invocation, read by Reverend Kathleen Regan, on to our seasonal observations that will be discussed by Reverend Dr. Bud James. And then we're honored to have Reverend Angela J. Wright read us a poem that she's written for this service, followed by a song sung by Reverend Natalia, Love is the Light. Then we move on to a guided meditation by Reverend Dr. Lora Coleman. And then our presenter, Thomas Ragland, will be speaking and also presenting us with some of his original music as part of his presentation. We're blessed to have Alisa Parcells give us her student sermon. She's a student at AFSI. And then, as we typically begin to end our service with experiential sharing, well, you'll each have a little opportunity, if you wish, to share for a minute or two about our service. Then we move on to the Universal Blessing, read by Reverend Dave Weinrich. Reverend Bud will go over the announcements, and I will close the service. So that's our agenda for the evening. So we'll move on in the service, and Reverend Kathleen, would you come forward to read our New Light Temple Invocation?
Namaste, everyone. New Light Temple was founded by Rabbi Joseph Gelberman as a haven where people of all beliefs and backgrounds could joyously come together to share their bountiful and varied gifts of spirit. New Light Temple is the ordaining body for all Faiths Seminary International. Our purpose is to provide a sacred space for people of all faiths and ages to celebrate diverse religious and spiritual traditions. We gather for connection, inspiration, solace, and healing while fostering understanding, peace, love, and unity. And in the words of Gandhi, I offer you peace, I offer you love, I offer you friendship. I see your beauty, I hear your need, I feel your feelings. My wisdom flows from the highest source. I salute this source in you. Let us work together for unity and peace. And in the words of Rabbi Gelberman, never instead of, always in addition to.
Thank you, Reverend Kathleen.
You're welcome.
And now, Reverend Dr. Bud James will share with us his insights and information about the seasonal observations. Reverend Bud?
Thank you so much, Catherine. Yeah, I'd like to go through and talk about the holy observations for this quarter. That's from April to June, and there are many, as you can well imagine. On April 10th, the Jains celebrated Mahir Jayanti, which is the birth of Lord Mahavira, the founder of Jainism. April 12th through 20th, Passover, when the Jews celebrate the liberation of the Israelites from Egyptian slavery and being passed over. On April 14th, Vaisakhi was when Sikh and many Hindus marked the New Year, the Sikh New Year, and celebrate the spring harvest. April 20th was Easter, and that's a Christian, Catholic, and Orthodox celebration celebrating the resurrection of Jesus Christ, and it was preceded, of course, by Palm Sunday, Maundy, Thursday, and Good Friday. April 21st through May 3rd is Ridvan, which is a Baha'i 12-day festival in the Baha'i faith commemorating Baha'u'llah's declaration that he was a manifestation of God. May 1st is a annual wonderful experience called Beltane. And the pagan and Wiccan belief system, they celebrate the peak of spring and the coming of summer. May 5th is celebrated by many Buddhists as Buddha's birthday, the birth of Siddhartha Gautama, the founder of Buddhism. And also there's the celebration of Vesak, which goes on, and that commemorates his birth, his enlightenment, and the death of Buddha. On the 28th, the Baha'i celebrated the ascension of Baha'u'llah, which commemorates the passing of their sacred leader, the founder of the Baha'i faith. In June, we'll be celebrating Shavuot, and that's celebrating the giving of the Torah at Mount Sinai by our Jewish friends. June 5th through 9th is a number of things that are going on. Very important holiday in the Islamic belief system. This is the period of time when there's an annual pilgrimage to Mecca, which is mandatory for all Muslims at least once in their life. And it is then ended with a feast, the Eid al-Adha, which commemorates the willingness of Abraham to sacrifice his son. And it's also seen as a way of experiencing sacrifice and surrender in our life to the divine. There were many other holidays in this period of time, but these are some of the few that can fit on the slide. And so we enjoy all of these, and we see these as all opportunities for us to grow a little closer to the divine. So back to you, Catherine.
Thank you, Reverend Bud. It's true, when we have 3 months of holidays, there are quite a few. So now we're going to move on to the poem that Reverend AJ wrote specifically for this service. Reverend AJ?
Greetings, everyone. I'm glad that my family is here. Good to see you. Inner light is a big part of my life. I've had many dark days where I thought I couldn't see, with many negative circumstances where I thought I shouldn't be. Through my personal struggles, I heard my inner light. That's not seeing, that's hearing. What is this? And what did I miss? I've always believed in a power greater than myself. Then I thought, maybe not. I have the worst health. So sick of being sick, I told God I needed him to fix this quick. The closer I got to God, the more I learned and the more I understood. I didn't need to see the light at the end of the tunnel. God is the inner and outer light. God is in me. So I am the light. There is absolutely no fight. I can just be who and what he called me. His, the apple of his eye. I've heard many folk, including myself, say, something told me not to, All of the some things outside of myself was nothing. It was really God in my own voice. I did and always had a choice. I'll absolutely choose him every time. God's love and light is deeply embedded in my heart, in my soul, and in my mind. His name is Jehovah. To God be the glory.
Thank you, Reverend AJ. That was really beautiful.
Thank you.
Like it was really from the heart. Next, we have a song, Love is the Light, sung by Reverend Natalia. Reverend Natalia?
Boy, Rev AJ, that was a fabulous, fabulous poem. Enjoyed
Oh,
every word of it. Thank you so much.
you're quite
Now,
welcome. I love you.
this song, Love is the Light, oh, I decided I needed to tell you a little bit about where I found it and where I'm doing it. So, back in the 90s, I had a hard time believing as I looked back at when I first encountered this song, 1990. That's already 35 years ago. It feels like it was kind of like yesterday, but it wasn't. So I was at this metaphysical music conference in Santa Rosa, California. And it was an opportunity. It was a metaphysical music conference. Most of the people there were from religious science, divine science, unity, and just about every other metaphysical church around. And it was an opportunity to share music of the New Thought movement. It was at that time that I encountered this song called Love is the Light. A score, it's Love is the Light, the words and music of Leslie Zimmerman, whom I had the opportunity to meet way back when. Love is the light that shines in the night, guiding us through the dark towards the unknown. Love beckons us onward, giving us strength to go on. Love lies within us, a force pushing onward, a power to change the world. Healing sickness, bringing wholeness that fills our lives with joy. Love is the key that opens the doors. It binds us together as one. Caring for our brothers, sharing with each other, letting our love lead the way. Open your heart, discover your love light, share it with all the world. Don't keep it hidden, share it boldly, spreading love both far and near. Love is the light, shining so bright, leading us back towards home. Love is the light.
Beautiful.
Lovely. Yes, love is the light, that light inside of us. And I love that song. Thank you, Reverend Natalia. And
Thank you.
and thank you. Now we're coming to our guided meditation led by Reverend Dr. Lora Coleman. Lora is a mental health therapist and ordained Faiths Seminary interfaith minister. She's currently in the Masters in Mysticism program at All Faiths. She enjoys providing spiritual counseling and often employs guided meditation with her clients to facilitate healing and connection with the divine. We're very pleased to have Lora with us tonight. Over to you, Reverend Dr. Lora.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Katherine. And I thank you all for being here. And I'm going to invite you to just relax for a few minutes. We just heard some beautiful music about connecting with our love light. And I'm going to invite you to relax and see if you can tap into your own light within. So just wherever you are, find yourself comfortable in your chair, on the floor. Wherever you are, just begin to settle in. Start to pay a little attention to your breath, your in and out. Really give yourself permission to take this time just for yourself, to connect to the light, to connect to the divine. Allowing your body just to settle. Taking a deep breath in and releasing it. Another deep breath in, and you might release it with a bit of a sigh. Just letting go, releasing. Focusing now on the breath in and out. In and out. Feel the breath of life moving through you and out in a holy rhythm. And let your breath become a prayer. On your inhale, say to yourself, I take in the light of the divine. In, I take in the light of the divine. And all on your out breath, say to yourself, I release all that does not serve me. I release all that does not serve me. With each breath, surrender more fully to the presence of the divine all around you. Feel your connection with all that is. Let your shoulders soften. Let your jaw unclench. Allow your mind to slow down. To a place of peace within. Begin to imagine that from the base of your spine and the soles of your feet, roots begin to extend downward. Let your roots go through the floor beneath you, down into the ground beneath your building. Let your roots penetrate deep into the earth, as well as wide. Let Mother Earth anchor you and hold you steady in this meditation. Getting back now to focusing on your breath, begin to imagine and feel that you are breathing in and out of your heart center. Take your time, allowing yourself to feel the breath moving in and out of your heart center. You might even want to shift your shoulders back ever so gently and open up your heart center a little more. This sacred inner sanctuary where you are at one with the divine. As you breathe in and out of your heart center, see a radiant light glowing there, your inner light, like a flame, glowing softly, holy, beautiful, and eternal. This flame of light, deep within your heart, is what Kabbalists refer to as your original God spark. The original you, made of love and light by the divine. Light of the Creator lives within you and through you, creating you anew every moment, every day. Feel the divine light shining within you. Sit in the awareness of its loving presence. It is loving you. It sees you. And it knows you. As you rest in the presence of the divine inner light, feel peace. Feel joy and deep stillness. Feel rest and rejuvenation. Remember who you truly are, the living light of the divine. Connect with your holy inner light, that spark of divinity that has always been with you. It is your soul's wisdom. It is your personal truth. It is your essence. With every breath that you take, the flame of your inner light grows brighter and brighter. See it filling up your heart. Let that light expand into your chest. And let that light flow throughout your entire body. Send that light to every cell, to every bone, to every organ, and every tissue. You are glowing from the inside out, shining into the world all around you. And as you enjoy this sensation of shining, silently say to yourself these following affirmations. I am the light of the divine. I am the light of the divine. I reconnect to my original God spark. I reconnect to my original God spark. I carry divine light into the world. I carry divine light into the world. Let these words ripple through you like gentle waves of truth. Remember that that holy inner light within you guides you, heals you, and protects you. Gently draw that light back into your heart, letting it rest there again. It glows like a sacred ember that never goes out. It's a steady reminder of who you truly are, a God spark. Bring awareness now back to your breath and to your body. Feel the chair beneath you. I'm aware again of the room in which you sit. Place your hand upon your heart and feel it beating. Becoming aware again of your physical body. Be prepared to come back into the room. Say a word of thanks to the divine inner light within you for all of its love for you, for its care, for watching over you. Ready? Gently open your eyes and come back into the room, feeling relaxed, feeling joy, feeling love and light, and feeling ready to hear and receive the messages of our presenters tonight. And I pray that you are blessed and that you feel the light of God within you. Amen.
Thank you. Thank you, Reverend Lora. That was beautiful. We definitely need that. We need to bring our light into the world where things are so discouraging many times, whether in our personal lives or in the greater world around us. We need to replenish ourselves. We need to refill ourselves. And so thank you for leading us in that meditation to help us do that. Now we're going to move on to our presenter, Tom Ragland. Tom is a musician and songwriter passionate about using music to connect, heal, and inspire. He is also actively involved with hospice care and provides music therapy for individuals with dementia and Alzheimer's disease. Tom has witnessed the remarkable power of music in reaching across memory loss and bringing comfort, connection, and joy. He also founded an executive search team called the Harrison Rush Group. He has been happily married to his wife, Sally, for many years, and they have 2 wonderful children. Tom will combine his insights and his music for this presentation. Over to you, Reverend Tom.
Thank you very much, Reverend Catherine. This has been beautiful so far. Thank you, Reverend Lora, for the meditation. The God spark idea just really stuck with me, and Reverend AJ, the poem, and the song, Reverend Natalia, has been beautiful. So yeah, I was just going to talk a little bit on inner light, and then I have a story and a song to do. I think, we're all blessed with this divine spark, God spark, as Reverend Lora said, that guides us and illuminates us. I think about the Bible, and John said somewhere that the true light lighteth every man that comes into the world. In most traditions, the idea of light and God is found. I think ultimately for me, God is incomprehensible, but the idea of light as something, as like a physical analogy we can kind of understand, it works for me. I mean, light is always illuminating, but it also gives us life, and it gives us love, and it's creating. Without light, there would be no life. So for me, there's a love. There's just a natural, like, I look around the world and I see a lot more kindness than negativity. I feel like we're all being taken care of, and I like the idea of the inner spark, that's within all of us. For me, that light is like my soul. My soul for me is like that. It's like DNA. It's just that unique piece of me that I'll leave behind, that nobody else has. But sometimes, that light can get muddled up too. I can get lost or confused, or we try and do things that we think are good for us and are going to bring us fulfillment. But really, they just make us more confused and more lost. And when that happens to me, like, I have to remember that I'm not the chattering in my head. I'm that quiet light that's listening to all those voices in my head, that's hearing that chatter. Where if my mind starts telling me I should do this, or this, I have to. The Quakers have a concept called wait in the light, and I love that concept. Their tradition is, there's a lot of meditative silence, whereas you're sitting in quiet and waiting for, waiting to feel, hoping to feel God's presence, to rekindle with that divine spark. And I like that. For me, in my spiritual adventure, I guess I'd call it, it's being able to sit quietly and to let things quiet down, and to follow that light that really does illuminate my path. There's almost like a belly barometer where I know where what I'm doing is whether it's like based in ego, like I can feel that like in my head or other parts of my body, but if it's something that really is the right thing, I feel it in my heart and in other parts of my body. That's how I know that I'm kind of listening to myself. And I love the idea in the Jewish tradition of mitzvah angels that do, acts of kindness happen. Mitzvah angels, they appear when we do acts of kindness, and I feel like that's what kind of keeps my light going, is my own acts of kindness for other people, but also being the beneficiary of people's acts of kindness. When I, like Reverend Catherine was saying, like I do a lot of hospice work, and I actually wasn't going to tell the story until we started the talk, but the light, like for me, I can get, when I feel that light the brightest when I'm really quiet or really present with somebody. I can feel that connection. And I do hospice work, and I had a patient, and we were got to be pretty friendly. He was a piano tuner for 50 years at Saratoga Performing Arts Center. So he had worked with all the big bands, Elton John to the big operas that would come up, and he tuned all their pianos. And he was this great guy with great stories, but he was dying. And I went to go see him one day, and he wasn't out where he usually was in the memory care unit. He was in his room, and he had that if anybody's been around somebody who's been dying, they call it the death rattle. So he had that happening, and the nurse was there, and she was like, yeah, he's dying. And so his family was not with him. They actually had a funeral home. So I stayed with him. I didn't want him to be alone. And he had a tape deck next to his bed, and he was playing Elton John. It was on like auto reverse. And then we listened to that for probably 2 hours. I got actually kind of bored of hearing that over and over again. So I put on my Spotify and put on some other Elton John, and he was dying. And the nurse was coming in and out, and they were giving him morphine. And then at one point we were listening. I remember it was the album Tumbleweed Connection. It's an Elton John album, and he loved Elton John. And it was like, I got close to him. He was getting agitated, and I started rubbing his hand, and the phrase came into my mind, like sand in the wind blowing into the sun, which is not something I made up. I think it's Khalil Gibran. It's in the Prophet somewhere. It might be the one on death. And I started talking to him about, I was just kind of saying that and rubbing his arm because he was getting agitated. Then he got really quiet, and then he just passed away. And it was probably the most, honored I've ever been with somebody. I mean, I waited for the nurse. The nurse came in, and we opened a window because that's kind of what he wanted. And but the whole point of this is that he left something. Like ever since that, I felt like this spark. Like to me, it was like the epitome of a mitzvah angel. Like I was changed forever by that, but I was changed for the better. And it was incredibly peaceful. And it just, like his light, there was something about that I felt him. And I'd probably only met him 3 or 4 times before that, but I feel him with me every day. And it's like I feel like he's like kind of illuminating something in me since this happened. And then the other thing I was going to do, I was going to actually just read a story I wrote. I was thinking about the idea of mitzvah angels, and then one night it was early in the morning, and I had woken up and I fell back asleep, probably 4 a.m, and I had this dream about this being that's like called a star grabber, and like it was this dream I had, and I was kind of, I don't know what, I just had this dream, and then I woke up in the morning and kind of wrote it out it's only like 4 minutes long, so just bear with me. But it's really more of a kid story, I think. But it's called The Star Grabber. And it says, someday you may find yourself flying high above the clouds, above the birds, and even past the moon. If you're ever in such a fortunate situation, be on the lookout for the Star Grabber. She is hard to spot. She rides in a cloak of moonlight that makes her almost, but not quite invisible. She is tiny but mighty, smaller than a grain of sand, yet she has a very important job. The Star Grabber has been around for a long, long time. If a bird dragged a scarf across the tallest mountain once every 200 years, the amount of time it would take to wear down that mountain is how old the Star Grabber is. Before her, there was no light, only darkness. The Star Grabber comes from a planet called Glimmeron. It's a place similar to Earth. It is rivers and valleys, cows and monkeys, and one big ocean called the Starfall Sea. The ocean is unlike any on Earth. It's made of stardust and starlight. Imagine swimming through an ocean of light and shimmer. That's what the Starfall Sea is like. Swimming in it makes you feel like you're gliding through soft feathers. The softness is stardust dancing over your skin. When you're finished swimming, you don't dry off. Instead, you shake like a wet dog, and the stardust and starlight fly off her body. They do a little star dance and float gently back into the sea. The Star Grabber once told me that the starfish on Earth are pieces of stardust that got lost during their dance and ended up in oceans. When they dance, they get dizzy and forget where they're supposed to go. No one knows when the first piece of stardust landed on Earth, but according to her, they're happy. There are many of them now, and they keep each other safe. In the early morning, the starfish sing to each other. You might hear their song if you listen very carefully at the sea's edge. And the starfish are singing if you see little crabs pop out of their holes or mussels squirting up in the sand. Crabs and mussels can't clap very well, so that's their way of applauding. Once when I was very sad, the Star Grabber came to me. I was sitting on my windowsill, hugging my knees and sobbing. Moonlight spilled across the floor, and the stars shimmered above. I cried a lot when I was young and often felt lonely until I met the Star Grabber. She came to me like a whisper in my ear, and she sang, "You have a light, and it's gonna be all right. Night is gone, and we have come to rest in the light." She said it again. "You have a light, and it's gonna be all right. Night is gone, and night is gone, and we have come to rest in the light." I wasn't scared anymore. It felt like a soft glow was rising from deep within me, and then it felt like rain falling gently on my head and shoulders. But it wasn't wet. It was more like sparkles drifting down. She sat on the tip of my big toe and told me she was the Star Grabber. Curious, I asked, "What is a Star Grabber?" I didn't feel sad anymore. Her soft, gentle voice told me, "My job is to grab a little starlight and give it to people who are sad or lonely. Everyone has a light inside of them, but sometimes it grows dim. I listen for cries in the wind, and when I hear one, I grab a bit of starlight and bring it to them. If you've ever added wood to a fire," she said, "that's what starlight does. It helps your light burn brighter." And with that, she whisked away in her moonlit cloak. A few nights later, I was in bed when I heard her whisper again. "To keep the light, you have to share the light." She had come back. She was sitting on my favorite stuffed animal. "I forgot to tell you," she said, "to keep the light shining, you have to give some of it away. We give our light by being kind and friendly. When you see someone lonely or sad, do what I do, share your light. We keep it by giving it." That's when she told me more about Glimmeron, the Starfall Sea, and the stars themselves. She said, "The light and kindness we share keep the stars shining in the sky. Glimmeron needs starlight to survive. Just like Earth needs sun, Glimmeron needs the stars. The more light we give, the more light there will be." I never saw the Star Grabber again, but I know she rides the skies in her moonlit cloak, singing her song. I think of her when I look up at the stars, visit the beach, and listen to the starfish song. And if you ever feel sad or lonely, remember this. You have a little light, and it's going to be all right. Night is gone, and we have come together in light. That's it. Thank you for listening. And then, I have a song to do. So, so this song, it was actually inspired from another hospice visit. I had gotten called from like the coordinator, and she said, "Can you go see this woman? She's probably got, a day, a couple days to live, and they really want you to come up. And so I drove up to her house. I live in Vermont, and she lived about 45 minutes away, and I'd never been there before, and it was pretty. It was like, it was kind of out there in the middle of nowhere. You never really know I had never been there before. A lot of times you get to kind of know the families and stuff. But so anyway, so I was down a dirt road, and I pulled in, and it was like this log cabin-y thing. And like, I went to the door, there was a dog, and this woman, Mary, came out, and she was just so incredibly kind. Like, she just, just had that kind of just air vibe about her. And she brought me into the house, and she was living there with another woman, and it was the other woman's mom who was in the other room. She was dying, and they were music teachers, and they had moved to Vermont from Hartford, Connecticut, years before. And she just, I talked to her for a long time. Like, I had my guitar with me, and she was taking flamenco guitar lessons, and we talked all about that. And she was like, she gave me, had all this food and stuff for me. Like, she was just super kind. And then she left, because she'd literally been with this woman for days. And my job sometimes is just to give respite to the family. So I sat with the woman, Kat, who was dying, and she, was in her bed and looking out this beautiful window and of this forest. And it was just me and her for a couple hours. And so I just brought my guitar, and I played a couple songs, and it was just, honestly, just when you're sitting with people, it's just, and it's like, you're connecting in a way. Like, it's just, there's this real presence that develops. And I left. Mary came home, and she died a few hours later. And I talked to Mary the next day. But anyway, so as I was walking out that night, the words to a lot of this song came. I walked out, and it was a beautiful night, and it was like early spring, and it was a really nice night, and the words to this song kind of came to me. So I'll play it for you. It's called Mary and Margaret. Mary had the melody, Margaret the rhyme, verses etched in the green mountain sky. Mary was a carpenter, Margaret held the line. Hymns of rolling thunder echoing through the night, singing something good's gonna come our way. I feel it deep inside. If you keep the melody, I'll keep the time. But oh, I know you're tired, and baby, I'm tired too. Throw another log on the fire, and let the light shine on you. The sweet smell of maple made the dark star twinkle. The trees dance with delight. Somewhere in the distance, a dewdrop glistened, and music faded into night. Thank you. Thank you very much.
That was beautiful. Really, everything very inspiring and hopeful, and I love ending with a song. I feel that.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
Next, this is a great service. We've got lots of things happening. Next coming up is our student sermon by Alisa Parcells. Alisa is a poet with a passion for the arts and nature. She lives in Connecticut, where she also teaches English and English as a second language, and has her own healing arts practice. She is in the AFSI ministry program with a focus on mysticism, and will be graduating and ordained as an interfaith minister in June. Thank you for joining us, Alisa.
Thank you so much, Reverend Catherine. And oh my gosh, Tom, your story was just so beautiful and so moving. And Reverend Lora, the meditation was just gorgeous. And there are so many divine sparks flying around. It's truly an honor to be here. So thank you very much. I'm so happy for this opportunity to share my thoughts with all of you on inner light and what it is and how to turn on the switch. When I learned that the theme for our service today was inner light, I became very excited because I love light, all kinds of light, actually to the point of obsession. I love how the quality and the color of light shifts throughout the day, and I love all the subtle differences, and I love how it changes with the seasons. And I developed this obsession with light immediately following my light experience, where on July 20th in 2007, in the rotunda of the Church of the Holy Sepulchre in Jerusalem, I was given a glimpse of the divine. It was such a gift. It was a life-changing experience where I was literally taken by the light for a moment that felt like eternity, and where I looked up into the brightest, most gorgeous white light I have ever seen. And I was not blinded, I was taken. And I was bathed in the most delicious, unconditional, pure love I have ever felt. But I was not only receiving it, I was giving it at the same time. Actually, I was it. I was all love, all peace, all joy. I was past, present, and future. I was everything and everyone all at once, total bliss, desiring nothing. And most of all, everything was so clear. And I felt like I was home and I didn't want to leave. And I don't know how long I was there with the light, but with great resistance, I was dropped back down on the cold marble floor, and I felt like I was falling in slow motion from total clarity through a dense mire into the thick, twisting confusion of the noise and the chaos of what I had thought was reality. But because of where I just was, I knew that this place wasn't real, and where I had been in that glorious light and love was just so very real. And so there I was back on the marble floor, and I had to make sense of and reckon with what had just happened. And I felt completely changed, totally transformed. And I wanted to go somewhere and cry, but also tell the world. But I had to keep moving with my group because at the time I was an educator and trainer with the Anti-Defamation League. And I was with 40 other ADL educators on a tour of the old city of Jerusalem because we had just finished a 10-day scholarly intensive studying the Holocaust and how to teach it at Yad Vashem. And so much happened after that. And I filled journals with my ahas and my reckonings. And I went on a quest to find out more about what I had experienced and what to do with what I had been given. And 18 years later, my quest and my journey continue with much gained, but still such a long way to go. And so much resulted from that experience too. I developed this craving for light in all forms. And I felt like I had grown another dimension in awareness and in compassion. Most importantly, however, was the realization that this is what we are, light, which is energy. It's divine love energy. And it's not only what we are, it's where we come from. And it's ultimately where we're going. It's our essence. It's the in his image part of us. It's our inner light. Therefore, it's our guidance system. It's that source of love, inner knowing, wisdom, inspiration, creativity. It informs us, but we're not always aware of it. And when we're aligned with it, we flip the switch on and we are flowing with it, connected to God, connected to the truth of who and what we are. So that's my understanding of inner light. But I wanted to see what different religions and wisdom traditions said about it. So I ran it through Google, and not surprisingly, the definitions were similar. In Christianity, inner light typically refers to a spiritual illumination, wisdom, or grace experienced within a person, often through a relationship with Christ, a source of guidance, truth, and understanding. In Hinduism, it's seen as a divine intelligence and wisdom residing within individuals, transcending ignorance and leading to enlightenment. In Buddhism, inner light symbolizes enlightenment, wisdom, and the inherent purity and clarity of the mind. In the Islamic tradition, inner light, nur, refers to the divine illumination and guidance that is believed to be present within every human being, a source of spiritual purity, wisdom, moral compass, guiding individuals toward a connection with God. In Judaism, inner light often refers to a metaphorical concept representing a divine spark or potential within each individual, connecting them to God and the world, a source of goodness, morality, and the ability to create positive change. It's also connected to the concept of the Ner Tamid, the eternal flame in a synagogue, symbolizing the constant presence and potential of this inner light. I love the specific reference in Judaism to divine spark. When I began studying Kabbalah about 8 years ago, it was one of the first things I learned. We are each a divine spark of the Creator. Let that sink in a moment. I am a divine spark of the Creator. It makes me think of those 4th of July sparklers we used to have when we were kids, and they looked like incense sticks, and they'd come in a rectangular box decorated like the American flag. My dad would light them, and my sister, brother, and I would run around our front yard, waving them madly as the sparks crackled and flew in all directions, like mini chrysanthemum fireworks, and I just thought it was the coolest thing. So, you and I are each one of those sparks, and the stick is God. And we are all these beautiful, bright, divine sparks flung out into the world. But our lights don't extinguish like the sparks from my 4th of July sparkler. They remain alive in us as our inner light. We each have unique talents and gifts, and sharing them is part of this inner light too. It's like the familiar quote from Matthew, verse 5, lines 15 through 16. No one after lighting a lamp puts it under a bushel basket, but on the lampstand, and it gives light to all those in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so they may see your good works and give glory to your Father in heaven. But I think my new favorite definition of inner light came from Rabbi Reese last month when he gave a talk on the Seeker's Compass. He called our light the guru within. The word guru is from Sanskrit. Gu means darkness or ignorance, and ru means dispeller. So a guru is a dispeller of darkness or ignorance. What dispels darkness? Light. Rabbi Reese went on to explain how God wants us to be happy, which is a state of mind, and we can access it from the guru within, the light within. And he said, God is always here in everything, and he wants to be known. I love that statement. He wants to be known. To me, it means we each are the opportunity Notice that "are" is the operative word here. It's not that we have the opportunity, but we are that opportunity to reveal God. And to that end, we must not waste our light. So if everyone has that light, why does it seem so elusive? And why does that light seem so apparent in some, but kind of absent in others? Why do some people seem to have such a vibrant, welcoming light or energy about them? You can see it in their eyes. It's like the illuminated open sign in a store window, letting you know their door is open and it's okay to come in, like an invitation. So right now, I would just like to invite everybody to just take a moment with me, please, and connect again with your inner light. Are we okay to do that? So just find again a comfortable position and straighten your spine and close your eyes. Just do a quick body scan. Notice where you're holding tension. Just release it, especially around your eyes and eyebrows, around your jaw and tongue, neck and shoulders. Take a nice deep centering breath. Inhale, exhale. Just be present. Go back again to your heart center. Look inside. Look at the center of your heart to see and experience the divine spark that I see in each one of you. See the gorgeous glow of your inner light. See the bright white of it and feel its warmth. Imagine, visualize, and feel that light expanding. Allow that light, which is the love of the divine, to flow through your entire being. Let it fill your heart, fill your chest. Let it fill and flood your entire body. Let your inner light shine past your skin and glow into the aura that surrounds your body in radiance and grace. Blessing you, blessing all those around you. Notice how that feels and enjoy again this beautiful light. And know it is there, always, alive in you and flowing through you, always. So just remember it, connect with it, shine it, and share it. Take a deep breath, and when you're ready, feel free to open your eyes. And so, my beautiful bright sparks of divine, that inner light, our gift from Creator, because of it and with it, we have such astounding potential and power to make this world beautiful. We were given all the tools and equipment we need in our amazing bodies and our amazing minds. And oh my gosh, the power of our minds. How our minds can help and heal us. But oh, how they can hurt us too. And there it is. It's our mindset, our thoughts, our perspective, positive or negative. That's what flips the switch of our inner light on or off. So the thing is to remember your light. Remember your open sign from the divine is always there. You just have to turn it on. It's why we're here, to shine our light, to share and give and love. But for some who are mired in adversity and stuck in their negative mindsets, it's not so easy to flip the switch. And so it becomes then even more incumbent on those who are able to flip their switch to help others just by being the example. Rabbi Reese concluded his talk on the Seeker's Compass with something that was so profound. He said, "Why is light the first thing God created?" Because, he said, it's his mission statement. Let there be light. Oh my gosh, tears were streaming down my cheeks. Let there be light, your light. And you know, it doesn't have to be a big thing either. Just remember your inner light, connect to it and share it. Even just something as simple as a smile can turn on the switch. Namaste, my beautiful, bright, divine sparks. The light in me recognizes, honors, and shines to the light in you. Thank you.
And namaste on behalf of all of us also. That was very beautiful and
Thank you.
inspiring. So thank you very much for sharing that with us, Alisa. And you'll go on to do great things, I'm sure. So the next part of our service is our experiential sharing. And we have a question that every service that we have a question that people can think about and share if they'd like to. So this month's, this service's question is, what has been your experience of divine inner light? So there have been lots of conversation about inner light in this service, so many different aspects of it, and yet I guess it's really just one thing, isn't it? However we visualize that light. You can raise your hand if you'd like to share. I can call on you by name in the order that you raise your hand. So I'll just share a little bit of, well, just being here. Just being here is an experience of divine inner light, this shared light that we all have, and this experience that we have. And I have had an experience of healing, that I know was directly from God, and, seen that light in the faces of people, in their eyes, and, from their heart, you can feel it. So would anybody like to share a little bit, maybe a minute or so, about their experience with divine inner light, or it could be something to do with a service tonight? Oh, Stephen.
Thank you, Reverend Kath. I'm reminded of page 28 in the Course in Miracles. I am there only to be truly helpful. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do, because he who sent me will direct me. I go wherever he wishes, knowing that he goes there with me. I will heal as he teaches me to heal. That is my experience with working with others, to open myself up to that divine light within me and let it flow through me and not let my ego get in the way. And I will say that I was very impressed with all the presentations this evening. They were very heartfelt and very, very touching. And I'm very pleased to be here. Thank you for letting me share.
Well, thank you for coming forward and sharing that. It's much appreciated. Yeah, this inner light that we all share and that connects us, each and every one. Thank you, Stephen. Lois, if you'd like to unmute yourself.
Yes. I just want to say what a delight it's been to be at this service this evening. All of the speakers touched my heart. And I especially like the background that you all have. I think that added to not only the beauty, but the serenity of the space. Very serene and peaceful here. And my dear, dear Alisa, what a beautiful sermon. Thank you so much. That was just lovely.
Thank you.
you.
Thank you.
I'm so glad this is the first time I've been at any of these services, and it's just been delightful. Thank you all.
Thank you. Well, come on back.
Okay.
Our next ones, everyone's welcome, and bringing our light together and creating a bigger light that we'll each carry with us wherever we go. So thank you, Lois.
Catherine?
Yes,
I would like to just thank everyone, thanking you, thanking Bud, thanking everyone that participated this evening. This was so wonderful tonight and so moving, and I just felt the light inside me just radiating just by being present in your presence. And as you all have gone through the seminary, and I look at it like a golden thread that's connecting all of us together from heart to heart, and it will never break. It's a golden thread that no matter where we are in the world, that thread keeps just getting bigger and bigger, and we're connected. We're so connected, and I think that this has a lot to do with not only your own willingness to be open and share your light, but also the teachings that we went through in this seminary. If everyone remembers, when you learned how to light the interfaith menorah, what did you say? And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And all of you that are graduating this year, when we get to the retreat, you will learn also how to light the interfaith menorah, and you will all be saying those same words. And it will echo in your heart, it will echo in your mind for the rest of your life. It's really remarkable that once that light is on, it's all you have to do is invite it out again. Rabbi Gelberman always talked about the depth of your heart. There's love and there's peace within your heart. Open the door of your heart and invite God out. Invite God next to you. The light is always there. We just have to invite it out. So thank you again for a remarkable session tonight. This was an incredible service. And I only wish the world could share it and see it. Thank you.
thank you, Reverend Kathleen. Well, they can see it on YouTube when we post it on our YouTube channel. But I always find these services to be so heartening and reminders of things, some that I knew already, or a different way of looking at things. I love that we're the opportunity to reveal God. We may know that we have inner light, but I love all of the different perspectives that we heard tonight, and the music and everything. Next, our universal blessing, which will be read by Reverend Dave Weinrich. Reverend Dave.
Thank you, Reverend Catherine. Our universal blessing. The divine bestows these blessings on us all: miraculous love and providence, comfort, hope, and healing, understanding hearts, resistance to temptation, freedom from egoism, equal vision, faith, devotion, and wisdom, spiritual progress and inner strength, virtuous hearts, compassion for the less fortunate, love for all. May these blessings of the divine rest upon us. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy. May we lift the veil and see the divine spark in all of them. Peace, shalom, shalom, shanti.
Thank you, Reverend Dave. Now we'll move on to our announcements of things coming up that you might be interested in. And those will be read by Reverend Bud James. Reverend Bud.
Thank you so much. We've got lots of wonderful things that are ahead, and hopefully my internet stays stable throughout. Our next New Light Temple service will be in August, and our focus will be on gratitude. I personally feel that gratitude is one of the, if not the highest expression of compassion that we can truly experience in this world. So we look forward to having all of you come and join us then. And we'll talk a little bit about some of our curriculum. We have a lot of great programs at the seminary, and hopefully you might find something there that really speaks to you. We have a focus on comparative religions, on Judaism, and on mysticism, on A Course in Miracles. So lots of different focuses, and you can take that from interfaith minister all the way up to a doctoral degree. Lots of wonderful opportunities to see and explore your own connection with the divine. Our co-director in the program, Reverend Keith, is an interfaith minister ordained by Faiths Seminary, and he offers every quarter Kriya yoga meditation classes. Many of us have taken yoga from Keith. He is an amazing leader. He's a wonderful meditation teacher. And also he does lead our meditations at the Seeker's Compass. You can get a little flavor of that when you join us. Every Friday, Imam Reverend Arif Hussein, along with the Common Word Alliance and the Ministry and Spirituality Centers for Humanity, offer a wonderful opportunity for people of all faiths to come together and share and enjoy the light that each of us have. And you can find out more about him on his Facebook site. So that's it for our announcements. If you have any that you would like to share for our upcoming event, please send your announcements to the newlighttemple@gmail.com. And if you feel inspired to provide a donation and you enjoyed our service, feel free to participate. A donation, the link is in chat.
Thank you. Thank you, Reverend Bud, and thank you everyone for joining us and being a part of tonight's service. Let our lights shine forth, combined as one, and what a light that will be, a light of healing, a light of life, a light of love. Stay well, everyone, and please remember to join us for our next service on Wednesday, August 20th, where our theme will be gratitude. Good night, all.